So we're gonna make a grilled chicken and caprese salad, but the first thing we need to pick some of our tomatoes here, and then we're gonna harvest some basil too. But you know, it's funny, my kids just have been out here for the last couple months. They've been coming out here and just picking all the tomatoes and eating them and just saying, these are so good. And they're just mouth-watering. So the first thing we're gonna do is harvest some of these tomatoes. And these are just gorgeous. And what's great about these earth boxes is there's gonna be ripe tomatoes on here for the next couple months. So I really need to just come up with tons of different dishes to use these. And they're super sweet. So we'll pick those. All right, so then we've got our tomatoes. Now we need to harvest some fresh basil. So what you wanna do when you harvest the basil is you wanna trim it down right below a couple of the tops, so where it divides like that. So that way it'll grow into two other areas. So go right below, and we'll snip off the tops. That's a beautiful one right there. And one more. And then we got our gorgeous basil to go with our caprese salad. So now let's go in and wash the stuff and start our grilled chicken and our caprese salad. All right, so we're back on the grill. We're gonna be doing the grilled chicken caprese salad. We've already got our basil and our tomato that we harvested out of our earth boxes. And now my grill's hot. So we're gonna open up the grill, take our chicken tenders, and just actually right on the grill. And you don't need to put anything on it, no oil, nothing. And then we're gonna use our herb brush, actually, just kind of similar that we did with the vegetables, and add a little bit of flavor to that. So then cover that up, give it probably 2.5 minutes on each side, and then we'll be ready to make our caprese salad. All right, it's been 2.5 minutes. Now we're gonna flip our chicken tenders, and you can see those nice grill marks on there. So, and then what happens is it actually unsticks from the grill after 2.5 minutes, which is beautiful. So flip our chicken tenders. And you could certainly use chicken breast, but I like tenders because it's quick and easy. And then why not use a little more of our herb brush. Impart a little bit of that flavor on, and then just go another 2.5 minutes on this side and it'll be ready to go. All right, it's been 2.5 minutes. I think they're gonna be ready on both sides. Yep, these look beautiful. So now I'm just gonna put them in this little container and we'll cut them up in there for the caprese salad. We're gonna lay our chicken in. And then just give it one little final touch with the herb brush. Impart a little more flavor there. And you can shut off your grill. And let's take our basil and tomatoes and go inside and make the finished salad. Okay, so we're in my house now, in my kitchen. We've got our grilled chicken, we got our basil that I washed, and our cherry tomatoes that I cut in half. And then I also have some fresh mozzarella that I cut in half. They're the little tiny balls. These came marinated, which is totally fine. You can get them non-marinated too. So we've got our really 4 ingredients here. So you're gonna start by picking the basil leaves off of the stems. And what we're gonna make is called a chiffonade. It's where we basically slice the basil really, really thin. And I'm gonna show you how to do that. So you start with a big leaf, and then you find the smaller ones and make a little bit of a stack like this. And then roll it up like that. Then, as thin as you can get it, go through with your knife and slice it. And this is what is called a chiffonade. And then just kind of loosen it up and let the leaves fall down. And then, to make our caprese salad, we're gonna add our fresh tomatoes, our mozzarella, and then take about 3/4 of the basil in there, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of cracked sea salt or kosher salt, and a little black pepper. Then just mix it together. And that color is just so gorgeous. Then we're gonna plate this up. We're gonna just put it here in the center, make a little bit of a mound. just like that. And then our chicken is still kind of warm right off the grill, which is great. And then what we're gonna do is just slice it at a bias. And you don't have to slice it, you could just serve a couple pieces next to it. But let's slice it up, make it a little bit easier. And then you can just fan them just right next to the caprese, like that. And that is our finished grilled chicken and caprese salad. So this is a gorgeous thing to have for lunch or maybe a light dinner using the herbs and the tomatoes from your Earthbox garden.